Hello and welcome once more to Red Gaming Tech. My name is Amata. Today is the 20th of January and I have some news for you today from Nintendo, as Nintendo shares fell as much as 18% in Tokyo on Monday before reining some of those losses to close down 6.2%. Now, investors were understandably reacting rather negatively to Friday's announcement from Nintendo that they'd drastically slashed their Wii U sales forecast from 9 million to 2.8 million units, which of course is a rather dramatic reduction that will swing their full year results from profit to loss. And of course, they also reduced the unit forecast for the 3DS as well, as I discussed in my original video. Now, the share decline is the company's biggest drop since September and basically wipes $1.2 billion off of its market value, and this was reported by Bloomberg. Nintendo is supposedly doing plenty of soul-searching in light of their recent commercial performance, and Nintendo President Satoru Iwata said on Friday, quote, "We cannot continue a business without winning. We must take a skeptical approach whether we can still simply make game players, offer them in the same way as in the past for 20,000 yen or 30,000 yen, and sell titles for a couple of thousand yen each." And he also has no plans to resign. As I said previously, he continued by saying, quote, "We are thinking about a new business structure. Given the expansion of smart devices, we are naturally studying how smart devices can be used to grow the game player business. It's not as simple as enabling Mario to move on a smartphone." To be honest, they just need to kind of realise that they've made a rather massive fumble with the Wii U, and I think that one of the biggest problems was with the branding and marketing, and I honestly believe that some of these problems could have been avoided if they had dropped the Wii name, because I think some people who perhaps aren't as educated or aren't into gaming, perhaps like parents or just average people who don't really take up gaming as much of a hobby, they kind of play games occasionally when they go around their friend's house or whatever, but they're not gamers in the sense that we would call ourselves gamers. So they might think, oh, what's the Wii U? What's that? Is that some kind of add-on for the Wii? They might think that, and to be honest, you can't really blame them. I mean, it's a very similar name, there's one letter difference. And, you could say, oh, well, the PlayStation 4 is just like the PlayStation 3, but no, not really, because that says to anyone's mind, 4 is better than 3, so it's the next one up. Pretty simple. So I think there's branding and marketing issues going on with the Wii U, and the fact that there's not really that much third-party support from developers for the Wii U. Nintendo were kind of banking on their first-party titles, and while they have some very, very good ones, of course, it's Nintendo, they obviously haven't been enough to sell the console by itself. So I think they just kind of need to move on. And going into smartphones could be a good idea, although I think they might be missing a trick by not trying to make Mario actually work well on smartphone devices. So pretty much most old school games have a version on a smartphone these days, and for good reason. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. I think as long as you don't do the whole digital analog stick thing, then you'll be okay. But I don't know. With Mario, you could probably just tap to jump and hold down or something, and I don't know. It could work, I think, pretty simply without bothering with all that digital analog stick, emulated analog stick rubbish. But regardless of all of that, it's not exactly happy times for Nintendo, and it's going to be a pretty rough path ahead of them. Now, of course, it's Nintendo. They do probably have the reserves to ride out a console generation of losses, especially after the insane success of the original Wii. But this is going to hurt them big time, and next time they bring out a console, they might think a little more carefully. And I hope they certainly do. I hope they take away some valuable lessons from a generation that has been shaky, to say the least. Hopefully, though, they'll pull out of this and they'll bring out something awesome, a new console or something for the next generation to make Nintendo the great company that we all remember them to be. Because I like Nintendo games. Though I don't own a Wii U, but I do own a 3DS and I own a DS as well. We got a Wii downstairs. No one really uses it, but we do have one. So I do like Nintendo, and they make good games. So I don't want to see them fail. I definitely want to see them pull out of this. So let's see if they can pull something magical out of their hats. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.